Yeah, some of you managed to do an excellent video. Yeah, so uh, uh, well done. Yeah, I'm really surprised of what you have done. Yeah, and I have some news for that videos as well. um, like I said, again, yeah, I'm not sure how to categorize this news. Is it a bad news or a good news? Actually, it depends on how we take it. Kan? Now, here's the thing. Jangan marah I, because I just got to know this yesterday as well. That, okay, yesterday we had this meeting, again, APB meeting, but that meeting is for Asasi, Pusat Asasi APB unit. Yeah, so we had this meeting, and the management are saying sorry for pushing all of us uh, to oblige to the due date of that competition. Okay, they cakap, sorry about that. We know that you're tired and whatnot, blah 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 blah. And then they said that we just gone through this meeting with Isulam organizer, and they are extending the deadline of the video. Boleh tak? We were okay. I'm not going to say the bad word. We are putting so much effort to actually come out with a video, and then trying so much to yeah to you know to catch up to the time, to the due date, and then they're saying that they extended the time. Okay. So I wanted to say this. What and the management are saying that, then you can just tell your students that if they wanted to amend the videos, they may do so. Please don't. Okay, so you have done well. You have put so much effort and time on that video, so no need to do more. Okay, to me, it's whatever that you have submitted to me. It's good enough. Okay, it's good enough, and I will I will select, yeah, some of the videos to be submitted to the competition. Okay, so it's good enough. No need to do any more amendments. Okay. Right, now that's one thing. But if you wish to do so, you may, yeah, because I need to be fair. Okay, I need to be fair. Uh, I need to be fair. If yeah, if let's say you wanted to do some amendments on the video, you may do so. But I highly recommend you not to do anything else. Yeah, you have put so much effort and time. That's it. Enough. Okay. But if you want to do so, go ahead. You just need to inform me personally. Yeah, inform me that you wanted to do a much better quality video, then you can do so. Yeah, just inform me. I'll give you the extra time to do it. Yeah, for now, that is our due date and that is the timeline, and I'm just going to follow that. Whatever videos that I've received from you, I've watched all of them on Monday. The ones that I've submitted on Monday, the ones submitted to me later, I have not watched them yet. Yeah, for those who have submitted to me on Monday itself, I have watched all of the videos and it was good. Okay, now moving on. Okay, so today I'm going to cover two sessions. Okay, two sessions because we're supposed to have class on Monday, but Monday is Chinese New Year holiday, right? So it's public holiday. Therefore, I'm just going to cover two sessions. Yeah, for today. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, sorry, I need to present now. Everyone is here, yeah? Let me just share my screen. Oh, okay, can you see my screen here? Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Okay, all
madam.
right.
Yes,
My
madam.
voice is clear, yeah? I'm not whispering so much. I hope it's clear. Okay.
Madam, are you in danger?
No, I'm good. Thank you for asking, anyways. Yeah, but I'm good. It's just that, yeah, I just need to speak slowly this time. Okay, so ELC 081, there you go. Okay, so we are now in week 7. Okay, in week 7, I need to cover all of this. If you can see that in code briefing, tak ada, code briefing pun tak ada. Okay, so these are all the amended lesson plan already. Yeah, because of because of e-sulam competition, so we are dragging e-sulam competition in front, and then we move mm, we are putting some of the other assignments which you need to submit first later. Okay, so we are doing this because the next one, so far what you have done is CSR video, right? We have 5 assignments altogether. Five ke? Yes, we have four assignments and one speaking test. Okay, so we have done with two. Okay, which is CSR video. Yeah, that CSR project is the video which we are going to use the same video to submit to Isulam. And then the next one would be reflective log. Okay, so reflective log, you need to submit to me. The due date is today, right? Okay, so reflective log, you need to submit to me as well. And that's it. You're done with that. Yeah, you're done with reflective log and you're done with CSR. Okay, reflective log is 200 words. A lot of people got confused of that. 200 to 250 words only for reflective log, whereby in the reflective log there are 3 paragraphs which you are answering. The 3 paragraphs, you are putting information on these 3 paragraphs on what, so what, now what. Okay, and this reflective log must be based on the CSR project that you have done. Okay, so that's one thing. Right, so 2 assessment done. Yeah, and the next assessment which you are going to submit to me on next Monday, but I highly recommend you to start now. You have tomorrow, one more day before the public holiday. If you want to work on public holiday, unless you like celebrating Chinese New Year. If you're not celebrating Chinese New Year, might as well you complete that work on Friday. Okay, complete the work on Friday and submit to me earlier, because next week, starting Monday, is going to be your assessment week, which is your test week. Betul kan? Test week kan next week?
Yeah, madam.
Okay. So might as well you just complete the work, yeah, and submit to me on Friday. Okay. But to be fair, I'm going to give you extra time, so you have like Saturday, Sunday, and also Monday for you to do your work. Okay, so Monday is going to be the due date for you to submit the evaluative commentary draft. Hold on. Give me 1 minute here. Sorry, this is a bit cheating. Sekejap. Give me 1 minute. My friend just give me the attendance list for ni tau link for the meeting that I've attended just now. Hold on. Bang, perkongsian PR ke PE PR eh? Okay. I tak tutup mic rupanya. Okay. Right. Perkongsian PR
Madam,
ya. Yes.
so due date untuk hantar draft next Monday lah kan? Last.
Ya, betul.
Alright.
Next Monday. Okay, right. Next Monday is the due date for you to submit the draft. I thought of my tadi. Okay, right. So okay. So sekejap, sekejap. Okay. So yeah, next Monday too. It's your draft. You need to submit your draft. Okay, but again it depends on you. You can actually submit it early because I'm going to prepare the form by today, okay, or tomorrow, so you can submit the evaluative commentary on Friday if you wish to, okay, so you have some time to do it. uh, Okay, we're going to move on to the evaluative commentary and what are the things that you need to submit along with the evaluative commentary in a while. Okay, so we're going to start off with tone, purpose. These would be the two topics that I'm going to cover um uh, uh, for session one. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go to the purpose first.
Madam,
Yes.
Madam tak present.
Oh, okay. Sorry, thank you. Thank you for telling me. Dah present lagi. Dah present dah. I am presenting. I am presenting. You cannot see
Dah,
my
madam dah present dah.
Tapi kalau
Dah present.
tadi tak keluar.
Dah present. Tak keluar? Alamak. Probably
Dekat
internet
screen saya.
connection.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Anyway, thank you for telling me. Yeah. So, can everyone else see my slide?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, right, nice. Tak apa, if you cannot see my slide, you can just hear my soothing voice, not shouting this time. Okay, and you can check out these slides which I have posted already in week 7. Okay, so all right, now let's move on. Author's purpose, author's point of view. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this author's purpose first. Okay, now it's very easy to determine author's purpose because author's purpose ni ada 4 je. We have to inform, to persuade, to entertain and to instruct. Okay, and some people they categorize this author's purpose into 3 categories only. To inform and to instruct tu dia letak dalam satu. Okay, so you can actually to inform and to instruct as one, to persuade and to entertain. If you put an acronym for this, it's going to be PIE, P-I-E, PIE. Okay, so persuade, inform, and entertain. All right. Now let's take a look at the first one, to inform. Right, the main purpose is to enlighten, present information and facts about a subject or the reader. Usually, in to inform, the tone that is used by the author is objective tone. Okay, so examples of 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 text that is to inform the reader is, for example, biography of Barack Obama, news reports about a shooting incident, note to a friend, essay about killer bees. All these are just to inform. You are giving information to your audience or your reader. That's all. Okay, that is the purpose of the writer. Okay, so very easy to determine, to inform. The next one is also easy, which is to persuade. To persuade is different from to inform, whereby usually the title or the topic of the article itself or any books, even the title itself does show some biasness. When the author choose a biased topic, or there's an argument in that topic, then there's a high chance that the author is trying to persuade you. Okay, so writing to persuade. And the main purpose of the author is to convince the reader to agree with the author's point of view. So when I say bias, of course the author has it's one-sided. The topic itself is one-sided, thus the author is giving you information. People get confused sometimes. Then this is all information. Yes, true. The author is giving you all the information. But all the information is to lure you or to convince you to agree with him or her. Then the purpose of the author is not to inform, is to persuade you. Example here, we have persuasive speech with persuasive essays, persuasive letters or notes. Okay, examples of topics would be just the topics that you have done. Remember the topics for your ELC, for your evaluative commentary, all those are argumentative topic, whereby the author is trying to persuade you on something. For example, uh, homeschooling is better than traditional school. Online learning is better than traditional learning. Online learning is better than conventional learning. So even the title itself shows the biasness of the author towards the issue. Okay, so therefore, the purpose of the author is to convince the reader to agree to his or her point of view. Okay, right. So writing to persuade attempts to influence the reader. Okay, usually makes an argument. Not usually, it's actually all the time they are making arguments. Yeah, and the arguments, the facts that is given by the author all boils down to one conclusion whereby the author is trying to persuade you to believe in what he or she is believing in. Okay, so the examples of text would be like political speeches. Of course, political speeches, they are persuasive. Okay, so advertisements, and in an advertisement, of course, any advertisement, yeah, like posting advertising on buying products, buying cakes, for example, or buying clothes, buying shoes. Any advertisement could be services that they are offering. All of these advertisements are persuading you to get those products or to get those services. Okay, so that could be a writing to persuade as well. The purpose of it, yeah. So another example would be a cover letter for your resume. Of course, you want to persuade the company to hire you. Okay, so therefore you need to have a cover letter that is persuasive enough for them to get you to be employed in this company. Okay, an essay urging readers to recycle. Okay, so you want people to recycle, of course, it's persuasive essay. Okay, right. Now, moving on. Entertain. Now, there are also people who get confused between entertain, the purpose of author to entertain and also to inform. Because to inform everything, every piece of writing must have information embedded to it. But the types of writing determines whether it determines the purpose of the author, whether it is to inform, to persuade, or to entertain. Okay, now moving on, the main purpose is to amuse reader. I'll give you an example why people got confused of this. Okay, let's say I give you a topic of an essay, of an article. iPhone is better than Android. What is the purpose of the author? Anyone?
To persuade.
To persuade. Very good. Now, the purpose of the author is to persuade. If I said that it is an article about iPhone is better than Android. Okay, what if I give you an article about the benefits of iPhone or the advantages of iPhone?
To inform.
Exactly. The purpose of the author is to inform, because the author is not comparing or trying to persuade you. The author is just informing you all of the good items or good apps that you can get from iPhone. Okay, what if someone who is really into iPhone and write a poem about iPhone? iPhone is better than Android. Tapi dia tulis in a form of a poem. What is the purpose of the author?
To entertain.
Yes, yeah, it's not to persuade, but to entertain, Because it is in a form of a poem. Okay, because it's a form of a poem, even though the idea is to persuade readers, to persuade reader to buy iPhone, but it's in a form of a poem. Therefore, the purpose of the author is not to persuade but to entertain the readers. Okay, so don't get confused. But I can tell that uh, from the question that I asked and you are able to answer, I can tell that you understand what I mean by to inform, to entertain, and to persuade. Okay, right. So some of the examples of to entertain would be Harry Potter books, poems about love, narrative essays about an event, or script for a TV show. Now, let me give you one more example. If you can answer this, then yeah, I know that you understand this well. Okay, let's say I give you a history book. Sorry, that's the thing that comes inside my mind. Okay, now I give you a history book, a textbook, yeah, a textbook that talks about Hang Tuah. So, what is the purpose of the author? Textbook, history textbook, and inside there's an article about Hang Tuah. What is the purpose of the author?
To inform.
Anyone? Yes, correct. To inform, because it's a history book. Okay, now, what if I give you a storybook about Hantua? The storybook talks about all of the history of Hantua, but in the form of a story, but everything in there is based on the history, the real history of Hantua. That I give you in the form of a book, a storybook. So, what is the purpose of the author?
Entertain.
Exactly. Yeah, to entertain. Thank you for answering. So the answer the purpose of the author is to entertain, even though the author is talking, the story itself is based on the real history of Hang Tuah. Right? But it's in the form of a storybook. Therefore, the purpose of the author is not to inform now, it's to entertain. Okay, so yeah, there you go. You understand already kan. The last one would be to instruct. Instruct ni kau tak, if I bet that you are able to identify the purpose of the author easily, yeah, because instruct is the instructions, directions, or step-by-step guidance, procedures, and recipes. Usually, even to instruct itself, it's not in a form of a paragraphs. Most of the time, to instruct, they will have a point form in a point of in a form of a point forms, or tables, or numbering. Okay, adalah, you can actually find those in a form of paragraphs. Very unlikely that you find that, but yeah, if you did, then still that could be to instruct, because it goes step by step guidelines. Okay, so these are some of the examples of text. For if the author, the main purpose of the author in writing the text is to instruct. Okay, so there you go. Some of the examples would be instructions to wash your hands properly, directions to your ATM dengkil, step-by-step guidelines to apply makeup. So you can actually guess that uh, the lecturer who's doing this slide would probably be a girl, kan? Okay. Procedures of online application for bachelor degree in lemon cake recipes. Okay, right. So basically, to identify the author's purpose, these are the things that you need to analyze. Okay, because of course the author wouldn't tell you the purpose I'm writing this article is to. No, of course they would tell you directly on what are the purpose of them writing this article or the book, but you need to analyze and identify that yourself. Okay, how are you going to identify the author's purpose in this case? So take a look at the language use of the author. Okay, so usually the tone, I say the language use of, by the author is mm, the take a look at the vocabulary. Okay, so the vocabulary sometimes it's not strong vocabulary. The strong vocabulary use would probably be to persuade. Okay, if the vocab used by the author it's an in an intermediate level, it's not having a high tone to it then it's going to be to inform, or to instruct. Okay, now take a look at the author's profile as well. Some authors, we take a look at the types of essay that the authors usually write about, yeah, and take a look at the intended audience. Yeah, take a look at the intended audience. Let's say if you're reading an academic writing, do you still remember what is academic writing? I've mentioned about this academic writing in week 2. That's like week 2. I've talked about academic writing. So academic writing is has a group of audience that they are intended to. Okay, so this group of audience could be education, those who are involving in educations, or scholars or people in universities. Okay, so the language used in academic writing will be objective. So you can determine the purpose of the writer writing this is to inform. Usually in journals would never be in a form of to persuade, but to inform only. Okay, so journal articles, yeah, like any form of academic writings like reports, all these are the purpose of the author is to inform. Okay, now take a look at the tone of the author's point of view. These two I'm going to explain further in the next slides. Okay, right. Firstly, to identify the author's purpose, you take a look at these details. Yeah, to inform, does the passage give facts about something? Okay, to persuade, does the passage try to get you to do or buy something? And to entertain, take a look whether the passage try to be humorous or try to teach you a lesson, or try to have a moral of the story towards the text given. Okay, and the last one is to instruct. To does the passage tells you on how to do something? Okay, so basically these are the same thing. Okay, point of view. Okay, now author's point of view. Yeah, author's opinion regarding someone or something, something or some issues. So how do you determine the opinion of the author? It demonstrates perspective or position. The point of view may be neutral, positive, or negative. Okay, so it depends. There is no right or wrong whether the author is being neutral or being positive or being negative. It all depends on the opinion of the author. Okay, so there you go. Right, now the writer will provide his or her stand on the issue by writing to support, against, or being neutral on the issue discussed. Writer also provide facts and opinion to support their arguments. Knowing author's purpose helps in determining his or her point of view. Now, why do you need to know his or her point of view? Because knowing the author's point of view would actually help you to understand what does the author trying to convey to you through the readings. Okay, it will help you. So therefore, first of all, yeah, before you start reading the whole passage, usually you identify author's point of view, its tone, and author's purpose in the introduction itself. Okay, in the introduction, identify that. Some people they are able to identify that even in the topic of the title of the article. Even the title of the article determines the purpose of the author or the tone of the author or point of view of the author. Okay, so identify that in the very beginning before you even start reading the body paragraphs. Okay, all right, so that's it for author's purpose. Let's move on to author's tone. Do you have any questions for author's purpose?
Oh, I do.
No, yeah? Okay. We move on here. Okay. Mm. Okay, we have done with author's purpose and author's point of view. In your ELC 081 evaluative commentary, remember the introduction? You need to put tone of the author. If you want to put the purpose of the author, you can also. But remember, all of this assignment is just 700 words. And your draft, if the whole assignment, which is you have 5 paragraphs altogether, you will need to write it within 700 words. What if you are writing the draft which only consisting of 3 paragraphs? Adalah 700 words you will be writing about 400 to 450 words only for the draft. Okay, 400 to 450 words only for the draft. Therefore, I highly recommend you do not put the purpose. It depends on you. Nak letak purpose, or you want to put the author's tone. Yeah, the ones that I'm looking for is actually the author's tone. Okay, so take a look at the author's tone, identify the author's tone in the main article that you have chosen, identify the author's tone, and put the information in your evaluative commentary in the introduction. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Okay, now let's take a look at the tone. Why do you actually need to know the tone of the author? Because even like this, yeah, even in a lecture, okay, even in a lecture, you need to know the tone of the lecturer, right? So if lecturer is angry, oh, okay, there must be something wrong here. Therefore, you are in an alert mode. Alert mode say, oh, what did we do wrong? And then you discover, okay, we did not hand in the assignment on time, for example, or we do not do the assignment properly, or the assignments that you have given me are all the sloppy assignments. I do not accept sloppy assignments, example. Okay, so you determine the tone, right? How do you know the tone? Because the intonation that I'm using, the voice projection. Tiba-tiba I cakap kuat. Let's say I'm shouting or having a higher tone. Therefore, you become alert. That is how you determine the tone of a speaker. How are you going to identify the tone in a writing? Okay. So, and why do you need to identify the tone of the writer, the author? Now, the reason why you need to identify the tone of the writer, because it talks about the writer's attitude. It indicates the writer's attitude towards the topic. Yeah, by knowing what is the writer's attitude towards the issue, it will make your reading easier. You will easily understand the text more because you know that the author is biased towards this example, or the author is trying to inform me on something. Therefore, when you are reading, you prepare yourself because you know the tone of the author already. You know the attitude of the author. Okay, that's the reason why it is important for you to understand the text, for you to identify the tone of the writer. Okay, now the next one, my question is, how are you going to identify the tone of the author? Because you are just reading, right? If I'm speaking to you, you are identifying my tone by my intonation, my voice projection, by the words that I'm using. But what if in a writing? So the same thing, in the author's tone can be represented through the choice of vocabulary. The choice of words used by the author will actually set the tone of the author. Okay, so the setting and other details would other details too, or the argument of the author would actually determines the author's tone. Okay, so take a look at the language use of the author. Okay, right. There you go, the same thing I've mentioned already. Why do you need to identify the author's tone? By evaluating the tone, it gives the reader a better understanding of the author's argument and purpose of writing. Yeah, so that it will make your reading, it will ease your reading. Yeah, you will understand the reading more. Okay, so yeah, usually I have uh, what do you call this exercise and do it with all of my students, but we don't have to do this. Yeah, dia macam come here Sally in a commanding way or loving way or angry or excited or playful way. Come here Sally. Okay. Right. Now moving on. Now tone is not explained or expressed directly. Of course, the author won't tell you the tone that I'm using here in the article is tak ada lah macam tu. Okay, the author won't tell you directly or express what is the tone that he is going to use to write in this article. Okay, so you need to identify the tone of your writer by reading between the lines. Okay, now focus on the choice of vocabulary, setting, and other details found in the passage. Remember, tone is not an action, it is an attitude. Yeah. Okay. There you go. How to describe tone. How to describe tone. You are going to use this, You are going to use these words to describe the tone of your author depending on your article. These are the examples of words that you can use. Okay, for example, bitter. The author used bitter tone in explaining on apa something. Okay, bitter or serious or witty, playful or tender, sympathetic, haunting, tasteful, agree and angry, innocent, humorous, suspenseful, and mysterious. Okay, so all these are the tone of the author. By right, okay, in a formal writing, don't know who's writing this. In a formal writing, there's only three types of author's tone. Okay, in a formal writing, there are three types of author's tone. Author's tone could be objective, could be subjective. This one, all of these are basically on a subjective tone. Okay, subjective tone, of course, you can use bitter, serious, witty, playful, innocent, humorous. Okay, but in academic writing, usually you put it as the author has objective tone. Okay, so what is objective tone? A tone whereby it's sort of like a monotonous tone whereby the author is not angry, the author do not put in any emotions in discussing the information. Okay, when discussing an academic writing topic or issue, usually author's tone would be objective tone. Remember that because most likely you are going to use this word, objective tone. Okay, dari dua je, objective tone or subjective tone, or it could be neutral. Neutral ni sama je objective tone, so might as well you use the word objective tone. Okay. Alright, so when evaluating a text, ask yourself a question. What do the author's words choice convey about his or her attitude towards the topic? When you ask this question, you will actually be able to answer the topic. Answer the question on what is the tone of the author. Okay. Alright, I am not going to do this. You may take a look at this question. There's the answer already. Okay, so you can try that out. I'm gonna do this. Okay, now let's take a look at this bias. Yeah. Bias is a particular tendency, trend, feeling, or opinion, especially one that is preconceived or unreasoned. Okay, now a lot of people they misunderstood about this bias. When I say something is biased, she is biased towards her students. It becomes something negative, isn't it? It carries a negative notations towards it. Okay, let's say a mother that my mom is being biased towards the children. So we know that she loves one of the kids more than the other. Okay, therefore it carries this bad notation towards the word bias. When every time people say it's bias, it's a bad thing. No, in writing, there is no such thing of bias is being bad. Okay, bias is not necessarily means unfairness or bad, but readers needs to be aware of this business in order to avoid from being influenced or manipulated by the authors. This is the reason why, right? So for you to identify the author is biased. Okay, so you know already the author is biased. Your part is to become and accept the information first, then justify. You are justifying the information first before accepting the information. Okay, you need to analyze, justify, evaluate, then only you come to a conclusion whether you should accept the information or you should reject the information, or you can also partially accept or partially reject the information. Okay, this is the reason why. Now you need to practice this when you are, let's say you are reading your post. Every morning, of course, you wake up in the morning, you take a look at the post in Instagram first. All of the posts in the Instagrams would be biased towards one issue. Of course, whatever it is, especially for the politics, yeah, political issues. People talk about political issues. They are biased. Okay, I'm not saying that it's bad. They have to be biased, but because that's the purpose. Yeah, they need to persuade their audience. They need to persuade their readers. They are being biased, and it's not a bad thing. Okay, the bad thing is if you read the post or you watch any biased videos and accept it as it is. You just accept whatever that the person say. No, that is wrong. Okay, so bias is not bad, but the way you perceive it is bad if you just take it as a whole. So what do you need to do? First, you identify, okay, the author is being biased. Then you need to analyze, you need to evaluate, you need to justify. Then lastly, you come out with the conclusion saying that, okay, this part I can accept, this part I cannot accept because the facts given is not relevant, example, or the facts given is not strong enough, or the evidence given is not strong enough. This is the part where you um, evaluate and analyze. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so yeah, this will be some of the example. Yeah? If someone is being biased towards women, they might display that bias by hiring a man over a more qualified woman. Always happening, yeah. Okay, right. So if someone is biased towards a certain religion, they might show it by making rude and insensitive comments. Okay, right. Or if someone is biased towards a political affiliation, they might show it with name calling or refusing to believe their opponents could be right about anything. Yeah, like I said, sometimes because we are so biased towards one political affiliation, we tend to do not accept whatever that the person is saying, even though if let's say you analyze it appropriately, whatever motion given by the politicians could be accepted because it is strong, for example, and it is supported by facts. Okay, because we are so mm, 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 so obsessed with one political affiliation, we just do not accept that. So that is wrong. Okay. So from now on, start doing that, practicing that before accepting something, analyze it first. Okay. Right. So moving on. Am I still in Google Meet? It's awfully quiet here. Am I still in?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Oh, okay. Do you have any questions or not? Macam syok sorang-sorang je cakap ni.
Madam ada.
Ada
Uh,
questions?
ada madam. Nenek saya nak tanya, kalau untuk
yeah.
yang intro for
Uh-huh.
draft,
Mm-hmm.
how many articles that we need?
Oh, not necessarily. For the introduction of the draft, the articles that is embedded is only one main article. You are okay. You have three articles, right? You have three articles that you use for this evaluative commentary. For the introduction, you are just taking into account the information from main article. Remember, one, two, three articles. One of the articles is going to be your main article, right? Your information for the introduction will only be taken from the main article for the introduction, especially. Introduction. Okay? Because you need to identify the tone of the author. Takkan nak tone of these three different articles. No, only the main article. Okay? So, tone of the article there, or the thesis statement would be the arguments. Yeah? So thesis statement, let's say the three arguments for paragraph 1, 2 and 3, you put it in the thesis statement. All those are taken from the main article only. Okay, is that clear? Main article only, especially for the introduction, main article je.
Alright, clear madam. So
Okay.
we only need one author, right?
One what? Author?
So we just need one tone only, right?
Yes, of course, one tone
Alright.
only. Yes, correct. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I bet that some of you might be confused as well. Tapi tak tanya. Okay, right. One tone only. Kita one tone only. So tone tu dapat dari mana? Which author? The main article punya author. Okay, the main article only for the tone.
Okay, clear madam. Thank you madam.
Nice. Thank you for asking. Okay, right. So there you go. These are some of the example. Okay. Jangan terperanjat. Not yet. We are not going to do RSP yet. RSP ni apa? Reading Skills Project. What is this? Another big project for you. Okay. No more video, but it's a project. Again, don't panic yet. For RSP, I'm going to postpone it to week 11 kot. 11, 12 macam tu lah for RSP. Okay. So, I'm going to start RSP in week 8. Week 8 tu kita start with RSP, which is after your assessment week. Next week is assessment week. The following week is mid-sem break, right? After that mid-sem break, I'm going to start with RSP. Okay, so don't worry about this one yet. It's just that the information that I'm teaching you now, today, for the purpose of tone, author's point of view, semua ni, you will be using the information for RSP as well. Okay, ingat tak yang reshuffling tadi tu kan? So RSP ni, the information you will use for RSP as well as for evaluative commentary. For evaluative commentary tu tone lah. Okay, for RSP ada juga tone and also purpose. Okay. Alright, so we're done with the first session. Is there any question or not? Second session is going to be a short one, I promise you. Okay, is there any question? No question, yeah?
No, madam.
Alright, thank you for answering. Okay, now we move on to the second session. Remember, ni yang untuk Friday Friday tak ada class. So, second session is going to be really simple. I'm going to start off with speaking. Okay, so far any questions for tone and purpose? Tak ada kan? So kita move on ya. I'm going to go through very quickly on this one. Today, for speaking, yeah, I'm just going to give you an introduction of how your ELC 081 group discussion for speaking. This is going to be a test. Berapa persen ya? If I'm not mistaken, it's 20%. I forgot about this. If I'm not mistaken, it's 20%. Yeah, 20% for speaking in group discussion. Okay, so speaking in group discussion, 20% for ELC 081, and it's going to be different, slightly different from ELC 080. If you still remember, for ELC 080, it's similar to MUET, right? So you have 4 in a group. Each of the group members will be named as candidate A, B, C, and D. Okay, and you will be given 2 minutes to prepare your responses and present in 2 minutes. That is for the first task. We don't have that in ELC 081. We only have the second task, which is group discussion. So pretty much ELC 081 and ELC 080, the task 2 is similar to this one. Okay, but the difference will be there will be no more options given to you. If you can still remember, in ELC 080, there are the 4 options, right? They give you one situation, and from that situation, you have like 4 options, and you are to discuss on these 4 options. This time around, only one situation will be given to you, and the situation will be a problem-based situation, meaning in the form of a problem, and you need to solve that problem. Usually it's like that, okay? So by solving the problems, you need to come up with your own suggestions, okay? Now, this one, if you ask me whether it's easier or it's more difficult from ELC 080, I would say it depends on you. Yeah, some students, they prefer option is given to them. Yeah, so when they have options, they can choose that options and quickly prepare with the responses based on the options given. Some students, using with the options given to them, they cannot be more creative. Okay, so they have other suggestions that they think or they believe it's better than the options given here, or the options given here are difficult, therefore they want to get a better option. So some students would say that ELC 081 group discussion will be a lot easier because there's no options embedded to it, so we can actually choose our own suggestions. Therefore, it depends on your which kind of students that you are. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This will be the instructions for the paper, yeah, for the group discussion, whereby you need to study the situation given. And this time around, instead of you being given 2 minutes to prepare your responses, you are given 5 minutes. That's a lot of time, okay? So 5 minutes to prepare your responses, and also you are given 15 minutes for the whole group discussion. Okay, so 15 minutes for the group discussion, and you have 5 in a group. Therefore, you need to be able to have that turn taking properly. Okay, some people, they talk too much, you are not giving the others a chance to speak. Okay, therefore, other group members, you need to be able to interrupt the person. Okay, so we'll learn about that in the next session we do speaking. Okay, all right. So yeah, I'll have here, what I have here are some of the situations. Okay, so if you can see here, these are all based on the previous question. Okay, previous question, actual questions. The teaching profession lacks male as teachers and lecturers. What are the reasons behind the small numbers of males in educational institutions? Discuss the most likely reasons why the teaching profession does not appeal to men. Okay, so you find out the reasons why. you can take a look at these situations. Yeah, you wish to. Okay, so that's it. Some introduction of speaking in group discussion. Okay, so moving on. Okay, let's take a look at your here, yeah, your GC. Okay, so let's take a look at your GC. You have here, yeah, I've mentioned here, apart from your evaluative draw, you need to submit these as well. Okay, now here, example here, yeah, you need to have the cover page, a table. Yang ni sebenarnya yang I want to share today. Okay, a table consisting of 2 columns. I will give you the examples, yeah, later. Okay, and then we have the articles here. Okay, now the articles you may highlight, yeah. You need to embed the articles as well. Article tu kena attach sekali. So attach separately pun tak apa. I want you to attach separately. Okay, so the article ni you highlight the points using this color coding. Okay, the color coding will be, let's say for paragraph 1, you use color blue. Blue for paragraph 1, the information that you use for the draft or the whole essay later. Okay, and of course this one is also important, references. Articles ni you nak highlight boleh, tak nak highlight pun tak apa. It's optional, but you need to attach together the articles. Okay, the articles must be attached, but it's optional. Number 3 ni optional whether you want to highlight or not. Okay, and of course you need to put in your evaluative commentary draft, 3 paragraphs only, 400 to 450 words. Okay, and lastly you have references. Now I just want to share this last thing before I end the class here. Okay, the sample of paraphrasing table here. Okay, so here are some of here is the example of your of the cover page. Okay, and then this one. Okay, P1 is paragraph 1. Let's say paragraph 1 you ada 2 citations, kan? So from these 2 citations, you take the original sentence. The next one is the ones that you have paraphrased. Okay, in the next table here is the ones that you have paraphrased. Is that clear? So you can take a look at some of the examples here. Yang ni is actually taken from the article. Okay, mesti ada citation ni because the citation will actually determine where you get the source. Ya, kalau tak nak letak kat sini, Bramett and Green ni you can put here as well, paraphrase sentence. Okay, it's better to put here and paraphrase sentence. Kalau nak tak sini pun tak apa, nak tak sini pun tak apa. Okay, as long as this paraphrase sentence is paraphrased. Okay, so if you can see here, some of the examples here, most of the examples here are, you have longer sentence for the original sentence, and when you paraphrase it, it becomes shorter. Okay, these students managed to do it well. Okay, this is individual individual task ni. I take this from my law students. Yeah, it's really good in paraphrasing their sentence. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Nanti I'll attach this as well as an example to do. Okay, so ni lah benda penting yang you kena buat, which is ni copy paste je. Copy paste from the original source and then the paraphrase sentence. Okay, this is very important. You need to do this. Yes, question?
Madam, so untuk paraphrase sentence tu kita boleh je kan copy yang ayat kita buat outline hari tu kan?
Ya, kan. Benda tu pun memang betul. Yang ayat the ones that you have done for the outline is the one that is paraphrased already, right? So we just copy paste just put them in a proper form like this. Okay, that's all. So because you have 3 in a group, this time you have 3 in a group, therefore you can assign one person, group leader boleh assign one person to do this. One person tu buat ni je, buat yang this page only. So this page tu akan jadi panjang lah sikit. So paragraph 1 example, so paragraph 2 how many citations that you have, paragraph 3, paragraph 4, okay, depending on how many citations that you have. So this would be some of the examples only.
Madam,
Yes.
yang table ni kan memang hanya untuk draft punya saja ke ataupun full punya isi?
I would suggest, because in full evaluative commentary you are going to do the same thing. Okay, you are going to do the same thing. So it depends on you. If you want to do this one for draft only, then go ahead. For draft only pun boleh, no problem. Kalau nak buat for full pun boleh juga. Okay, it doesn't matter. Kalau if you do it for full, kan, untunglah sikit sebab nanti yang full punya evaluative commentary tu you actually have done everything, kan? Macam dah siap lah semua. So but it's okay. If you want to do this for draft pun boleh, no problem. Okay, marks will not be deducted. Kalau if you do the full one, no extra marks either. Okay?
Okay madam, thank you.
Okay. Bagus lah. This class asks a lot of question, which is good. Kan? If you ask question, then only it's going to be really clear for you to do the assessment, yeah?
Madam,
Yes?
untuk yang body paragraph tu kita mesti ada macam concluding sentence kan, macam kita cakap kan. So itu kan ayat kita sendiri, so dekat the original tu tak payah letak apa-apa ke?
Oh, tak payahlah. Tak payah masuk sini pun.
Oh,
Tak payah masuk dalam table tu pun.
okay.
Tak payah masuk dalam table. Yang table ni hanya untuk paraphrase je. The ones that you take from original source, tapi you dah paraphrase kan. Yang tu je. Macam conclusion kan tak payahlah masuk. Macam you have your own opinion. Nanti kan ada paragraph, body paragraph ada 3. Kan? Body paragraph, second body paragraph. Mostly first and second body paragraph ni are citations taken from the original sources. Betul tak? Kan? And then the last one ni, yang third paragraph ni, ada your opinion is embedded towards it. So opinion tu tak payah letak dalam ni. Your opinion, I say I agree with the authors saying what, yang tu tak payah letak. But if let's say I agree with the author on something and something, because according to, then you ambil one source to support your reason. Okay? Yang tu kena ambil. Because you take according to someone, right? According to someone, then you put it in. But if it's genuinely from you, your own opinion, then no need to put. You do not need to put it inside the table. Table ni hanya untuk paraphrasing. Kena ada yang original source, original sentence dengan paraphrase sentence. Is that clear?
Madam.
Yes.
Tanya dulu.
Kan yang macam P1 tu kan, paragraph 1 tu.
Okay.
Dia macam every sentence tak payah letak citation. Macam ayat first ni kan dia cakap it limit macam ni kan. Tak payah
tak payah. Kalau macam, macam mana?
Macam ayat first ni kita cakap pasal artikel tu. Ayat kedua pun artikel tu juga. So macam letak satu citation je lah kan. Even 2 sentence.
Tapi is it taken from the article? Okay, taken from the article kena letak. Okay, kena letak.
Dua sentence tu kena letak citation.
Kena ada. Okay, example I'll take this one. Kita ambil ni according to this. Okay. Sekejap. Okay. Jadi tak? Okay, ni kan. According to Bramet and Green 2019, individuals unable to pay rent consistently often resort to out migration. They also, let's say, second sentence ni, coming from them also. So you need to say they also stated that kena ada ni. Kena ada, they also stated that. Kalau if you let's say you do not have they also ni, dia akan jadi salah. Okay, dia akan jadi plagiarism. Do you understand?
Okay, alright. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Kejap lah. Katalah yang ni kan. Yang ni Bramet and Rin kan. Dia pun cakap benda ni juga. Ambil. Okay. Kita paste dekat sini. Okay. In 2019, individuals unable to pay rent consistently often resort progress to only privileged communities. Let's say you just mentioned that it limits progress. You did not mention that this comes from Bramet and Rin. Therefore, it's wrong. Even though you have paraphrased. Yang ni dah paraphrase ni. Betul tak? You have paraphrased this sentence. But the sentence, the information does not come from you. It comes from Bramet and Rin. Therefore, you need to use the word they also stated that it limits progress to only privileged communities and neglects the underprivileged. Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Thank you so much, Izian, for asking that question. Okay, because a lot of people, dia memang salah yang ni. Mentang-mentang dia dah paraphrase this, so you just put it in the second sentence here. It's wrong. Okay. Every sentence you need to mention or give credit to the author. If it's not coming from you, it comes from the author. Even in the second sentence, you need to mention the authors again. Okay, kalau tak nak mention the authors again, you need to use the word they. So bila they ni, this is called pronoun ya. So pronoun ni kata ganti lah, kata ganti nama. So pronoun ni who are they? We know that you are referring to Bramet and Rin. Okay, as long as we know you are referring this to someone else. It's not me who's saying it, it's Bramet and Rin saying it. Okay? Do you understand that?
Yes, madam.
Thank you, Izian. Okay. Okay, any other questions before we end the class today?
Madam,
Yes?
dalam table tu kena include intro and conclusion sekali ke? Kalau dia ada citation.
Kalau ada, include lah. Kalau ada. Tapi dalam introduction ada ke citation? If let's say ada citation, which sebenarnya tak ada pun citation in introduction and conclusion. Tapi kalau ada, then you need to include in the table. Okay, tapi introduction tak ada kan. Introduction you are explaining on the tone of the author. Unless, okay. I like the question. Okay, unless dalam tone tu you ambil, tak juga. Okay, let's say you talk about the tone of the author. Tone of the author ni, you want to determine the tone of the author and then you want to give evidence. Tapi evidence tu in a form of this. Ada quotation mark. Mana ni? Quotation marks like this. Okay, let's say the tone of the author. can be determined in line 3, example, in line 3, paragraph 1. Kan? And then you put this quotation mark, blah, blah, blah. Ni you ambil exactly because you want to prove. Kan, you said that the tone of the author is objective or subjective tone. Kenapa you cakap subjective tone? Okay, this is the proof. So the proof is you taken it from the author kan. You take the sentence from the author to show that the author's tone can be read from this sentence. This one, no need to put in the table. Ni tak payah letak dalam table. Okay, yang ni tak payah letak dalam table because it's a quotation mark. Quotation mark tak payah letak lah because you do not paraphrase. Tak paraphrase pun you take as a the word for word in that sentence. Okay, so no need to put in the table. The table tu only if you use paraphrase only. If you paraphrase the sentence. Is that clear?
Clear, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Seriously, thank you. Okay, any other questions?
Madam,
Yes, Nurin?
so kita kena ambil dari tiga-tiga artikel lah kan? Bukan main artikel je kan?
Untuk apa tu? Untuk let's say body paragraph. Body paragraph 1, 2, 3 kena ambil from the 3 articles. If body paragraph, kalau introduction, tak perlu lah. Introduction only main article. Introduction only information from main article. Sebab you are talking about the tone. Okay, you are doing the overview. Overview tu pun it's like a summary. Overview ni summary lah. Overview ni summary of the main article kan. So yang tu tak payah ni dah. You are just taking it from main article. So summary overview of the article, the tone of the article, and also the arguments taken from the article. All these 3 you need to put in the introduction. Therefore, introduction is not including all 3 articles, only from the main article.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Any other questions? Thank you. Okay, any other questions?
Madam, kalau
yes,
kita buat citation tu, lepas tu kan contohlah nanti kita letak nama author tu kat last sekali kan. So dia punya nama dengan tahun tu kira berapa words? 1 ke kira 2?
Oh, okay. Kalau macam ni dia akan kira okay, yang ni I'm not sure tapi usually kita kira ni as one sebenarnya. Kita kira ni 1 je. Like Bramet and Rin ni kira 1 tapi year ni kira 1 lagi. Okay, so Bramet and Rin ni macam ni. Bramet and Rin dia kira 1, ni kira 1 lagi. So Bramet and Rin 2019. Okay.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Alright. Okay. Ada? Oh, okay. Tak ada. Ada period je. Okay. Kalau if you put ni, if I'm not mistaken, abstain at all, comma, then the year 2009. Okay. Kalau yang ni bezalah if you put them together. Kalau if it's just common ni tak ada rasanya. Okay. I think this is how you do it. Tapi kalau if this is in the bracket already, this is correct. Okay, I'll check that again and come back to you. Sebenarnya format dia macam ni. Okay, but first time you, before you use abstain ni, let's say this is in the second paragraph, you ada abstain tu, make sure that abstain tu you put all of the names. Okay, do not put at all dulu. At all tu only for the second citation. Yes.
Sebab saya letak yang ni first tu sebab dia punya author sampai 6 orang. Sebab saya tengok dekat notes
kena letak semua.
Oh, okay.
Kena letak semua. First time you mention
it all.
Second time you mention nama sama, baru boleh letak at all. First time, kalau ada 10 orang pun 10-10 je kena letak. Okay? Hilang dah.
Okay, thank you madam.
No, right? Okay, kalau ada 10 orang pun 10 orang kena letak. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, right. So, please check out your GC ni, okay, for this, and also dalam classwork ni, don't forget to check this ya. Dalam ni ada week 7 ni, session 1 and session 2, okay, which is today punya session, I dah cover semua, session 1 and session 2, okay. And here, dalam starting from week 2 onwards ni, semua dah ada. Okay, week 3 ni pun dah ada. Materials for citation, okay. Outline. Untuk draft, I have it in week 4. There, for draft. Okay, so please check the information here, especially yang ni. Dalam banyak-banyaknya, I paling suka yang ni. Okay, citation. Very comprehensive indeed, So check again the citation, especially for those who missed my class. Yang miss my class for citation, this is very important to you, Okay, right. Macam tak menjerit pun penat, menjerit pun penat, kan? Okay, so thank you so much everyone.
Madam.
Yes.
Nak tanya lagi yang articles yang kena highlight tu. Optional tu highlight ke optional untuk hantar artikel?
Hantar artikel tak optional.
Maksudnya
yang optional highlight
jugalah.
Yes,
okay.
Artikel memang kena hantar. Okay, artikel memang kena hantar because I need to check if let's say it comes from blogs, dah salah lah. Okay, I cannot accept anything that comes from blog. I check artikel tu lah. I check the reliability of the article. Lepas tu, the highlighting part tu yang optional. Sebab dah ada yang table. Table tu tak optional The table is important for you to have. Yang highlighting tu optional lah. Satu hal pula nak highlight. Tapi you dah buat sini ni sebenarnya. Whatever that you have here should be highlighted in the paragraph, in the article tu lah. Tapi that one is optional, okay? If you think it's too much, then it's okay. No need to do that one. Yang highlighting tu optional.
Thank you.
Okay? Attach tu wajib.
Madam.
Okay, right. Don't worry. Yeah. Yes.
Attach tu maksudnya attach link artikel tu ke? Macam mana?
Jangan attach the article. Attach the article. You kena download the article first. Yang download tu, save tu, you hantar kat I. Okay?
Okay, thank you madam.
Okay. You cannot just, mana I punya ni? Cursor I dah tak ada. Okay. Something wrong. Okay. Right. So, any other question? Am I still in? Yes.
Kalau kita ulang citation tu banyak kali kan, dia kira one word je ke macam semua tu kena kira sekali? Faham tak?
Macam mana tu ulang citation banyak kali?
macam dalam paragraph 1 tu, contoh ayat yang kedua tu kita letak Jack 2009 macam tu kan. Lepas tu dalam ayat keempat ke macam tu kita nak letak lagi benda tu. Okay, kira juga tak words yang kedua tu.
Kira. Semua pun kira. Kena kira the words as well. Tapi kalau macam nak ulang citation tu memang sepatutnya tak lah, sebab it's going to be repetitive. Benda sama ulang memang tak ada orang buat macam tu pun. Okay. But yes, especially, yes, you can send all 3 articles, especially the main article tu memang kena tanda lah this is main article. Okay. So yeah. Okay, any other question? Kenapa my cursor tak ada ni? Problem pula lah laptop ni. I rasa banyak sangat tau. I've been using my laptop for a lot of times. So dia jadi macam tak betul laptop ni. Okay, right. Any questions before we end the class? No questions
Madam,
Yes, Aida?
kalau macam nak download tu macam mana ya? Kalau artikel tu dari website.
Oh, download je lah memang boleh.
Okay.
You download tak pun you save kat atas kan ada 3 dot. Sometimes ada 3 dot tu, you click kat situ, save as. So you are saving the article tu masuk dalam you punya documents lah.
Okay. Thank you, Madam.
Okay, dekat atas sebelah kanan tu ada 3 dot tu, you click kat situ. Save as the article. Okay. Alright. Macam gelap pula air kat sini. Okay. Thank you so much everyone. I'll see you. Dah tak ada dah kan kelas. I'll see you in the next 3 weeks. Kan? 2 weeks. Kita dah tak ada kelas. Next week tak ada kelas because of the assessment. The following week is cuti. I see you in week 8. Okay, kita kira tu week 8. So thank you so much everyone. I will still contact you. Communicate with you through GC, Google Classroom, as well as WhatsApp. Okay, if you have anything to ask, you can always ask me. I prefer you asking me in a group. Sebab sometimes soalan ulang-ulang tau, and a lot of people PM me, so the same question. So I usually compile the question and answer it in one go. Okay, so I prefer you asking questions in a group so that everyone can take advantage for that as well. Okay, thank you so much everyone.
Thank you, Madam.
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 Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you everyone. Okay, take care.